You've got to get up pretty early in the morning to beat Sanibel Island's beachcombers to the best shells.
There are more shells early in the morning before there are more pickers.
It can be competitive because you're always trying to one-up your shell buddy if you're on the beach.
Oh, look at the color variation here. Isn't that pretty?
It's just beautiful.
Competitive shellers come from near and far to Sanibel's annual Shellebration.
See, look at this. Isn't it fabulous? I love that.
To vie for blue ribbons for their collections and crafts. This Florida island sports an extraordinary 400 or so species of colorful artistic specimens, drawing the most avid and competitive collectors. Collecting shells on Sanibel is no walk on the beach.
I broke my husband's leg shelling.
Broken leg? Who knew shelling had become a full-contact blood sport?
It's a competitive business. Good morning, everybody. I'm Dottie.
Dottie knows it.
Okay, some of the other pretty shells we find on the beach, the true tulip, and then, oh, everybody loves an alphabet cone. See what you can dig up.
Dottie DeVasher conducts shell tours for rookies in the shell game.
Oh, yes. That's a beautiful little shell. That's a little coquina. Every day the beach is different. Every day the people out there are different. It's a wonderful place and a wonderful thing to do.
Wow. How many shells do you have down here?
Too many.
You stopped counting?
That's right. It's sort of addiction, okay, and there's no 12-step program yet to stop it.
Leroy Neitzel, who moved to Sanibel for the shelling, has nearly as many shells at home as the local shell museum. What are all these?
These shells I've collected in the last 10 days on our
10 days?
10 days, yes. And each shell is beautiful in its architecture and design, color, and pretty soon you find yourself liking this shell or that shell. My problem is I like all of them.
Do you still get a thrill when you see one you haven't gotten yet?
Oh, yes.
Tell me about what's the feeling.
It's exhilarating.
So this your boat here?
Yes, sir. This is the vessel we'll be taking.
Some extreme shellers hire a shell guide, like Captain Joey Burns said.
This is one of the last barrier islands that you can get to, only accessible by boat.
To take them to remote, unscoured beaches. But even there, more shellers.
There's one by your left foot.
This guy? I was learning that shelling requires a keen, practiced eye. I would have walked right past it.
Yeah. See, there's another olive by your foot.
I also learned that you not only have to get up early to get the best shells.
So in here, we're going to start looking very carefully.
Sometimes you have to stay up all night.
Here's a hermit crab and a nice banded tulip.
When low tide is 3 a.m., Smokey Payson and his friend Claire are out there. I've never been up this late sober.
This is our fighting conch.
There's the guy.
Yep,
oh,
here he
wow,
comes.
here he's coming after me.
Look at this.
Look out,
That's why the name fighting conch. Look at that.
Fortunately, live ones are thrown back. Oh, there's a starfish. It's hard to believe that's a living creature. Extreme collectors like Smokey calculate lunar phases, wind velocity, storm activity, and tides.
We'll have what I call a high-low tide, and we'll have one high tide and one low-high tide. And sometimes we just have the high tide and the low tides.
I think I've got the largest collection of oysters ever eaten by one person.
Matt Asen steers clear of such crazed shellers. He's collected hundreds of different oyster shells from around the world after he's eaten the oysters inside. So you don't do your shelling on beaches, you do them at raw bars?
I do them right, and there's always a nice cold beverage to help me celebrate the oysters with and make new friends.
Finally, there's a popular shell collecting technique for people who like shells, but also enjoy sleeping at night and avoiding broken legs.
$2.
Just buy them on the way out of town.